Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 2. Now I just want to say a really big thank you to everyone who watched the first episode. I've had some really lovely feedback and what I'm going to do after I've recorded this one is sit down and reply to every single comment. I had so much fun filming it and I was so eager to sit down and film this episode, but I've come into a little bit of a problem and because I'm not a very fast knitter, I thought there wouldn't be that much to share with you. So it would mean that I wouldn't be able to make these videos very often. So I've come to the conclusion that instead of making a knitting vlog, if I make a craft vlog where I can showcase a few of my other hobbies like sewing, cross stitch, a little bit of needle felting, things like that. I'll be able to show you them and talk about them as well, which I'm really excited about. I have taken a few of your suggestions on board. I've got my light here, which is really bright to look at. And it's probably given me a nice little bit of a suntan on one side of the face, but hopefully it brightens up this corner a little bit for you. And I've also brought you a little bit closer. I don't know why, I felt like the camera should be a little bit closer. So we'll see how it goes anyway. But this episode I'm going to go through a few of my whips, a few of my works in progress, and I say works because there's more than one. I'm going to go through them. I'll go through a few of the projects which I want to cast on now or in the near future, and then I'll show you a few of my other projects which I've completed. And if I've got enough time, I will go through how I organise my knitting folder with my little printable PDFs and things like that, because I know a few of you have asked about them before. And because I love being organised, I thought it might be quite interesting to share that with you as well. So let's begin with what I have been knitting up the past couple of weeks. Now I think I showed you this one in the last episode. It's this little jumper which I started knitting for my nephew. And I started knitting this because I was waiting for some needles to arrive to work on the project which I am focusing on. So I literally cast on and knitted a few rows of the ribbing. But yeah, it's just a little jumper for my nephew who will be 5 years old in September, so it'll either be a birthday present or a Christmas present. I haven't decided yet, but I have got quite a few months yet to finish this, so I can put this away while I focus on my other one. But I'm knitting it in this beautiful Sidar Snuggly DK in this absolutely gorgeous blue colour, which I think will suit him beautifully. And the pattern I'm using is this one by Sidar 4943, babies and girls cardigans and sweater, although it goes from 0 to 6 months up to 6 to 7 years. And I am just knitting him the grey version there, the round neck jumper, but it's a really nice looking jumper which I think will just go with everything. It's got some nice cable knits on it as well, so yeah, hopefully it won't take very long because it is a lot smaller than an adult jumper. So the thing that I am focusing on the most is my Weasley jumper, which honestly I cannot tell you how excited I am to finish this. And I did think, well, it's going to take me ages because the last jumper I knitted, my first ever jumper, the navy one, took me 8 months. And I was thinking, oh, I hope this one doesn't take me this long. I cast it on just under 2 weeks ago, and this is how much I've done. I surprised myself. But honestly, it's such an easy pattern. Any pattern which tells you to knit in stockinette until it reaches 37 centimetres is my kind of pattern, because you can just sit in front of the telly and just knit and not have to think too much. So yeah, I've done the ribbing along the bottom. I've made the body a bit longer. I think I've gone to 45 centimetres instead of 37 because I'm tall and I have quite a long body. I want a jumper to fit. So I've gone up to there. I've cast off 7 stitches and then now I'm just working. I think I need to go to 25 centimetres up the armhole. So yeah, very nearly finished the back piece, which I'm so happy about. I decided to knit a medium size. I wanted it to be a little bit baggy. I mean, it's not going to be overly baggy, but I'm not a big fan of tight fitting jumpers. So yeah, I wanted a little bit baggy. And the pattern is from the Harry Potter Knitting Magic book, which I think I told you about in the last episode. If you love Harry Potter and you can knit, it's the best book. I want to knit every single thing in here. In fact, I am debating whether to knit my other nephew a scarf. He's just got into Harry Potter, and I was thinking, a scarf would be quite nice, a Gryffindor scarf. But I don't know yet. I don't know if he's really that into it to want to wear a scarf. But yeah, like I said, the pattern's really, really easy so far. And I'm doing it in the Ron Weasley colours, which is the maroon with the yellowy gold initial. Yeah, so excited. You actually make the jumper up and then you put the initial on. So you use the duplicate stitch embroidery to put the initial on, which I'm dreading a little bit, but I'm thinking if I can't do it, then at least I've got a maroon jumper. And the yarn I am using is Cascade 220 Heathers. I think in the last episode I kept saying Cascade 2020. I don't know why. I don't know why I was getting confused with the year, but it is Cascade 220 yarn. And I've got 5 skeins of the maroon and 1 of the yellow. I think this is called red wine heather and this is called birch heather. But the colours are 9489 and 9564 for the yellow. I love Cascade yarns. I use them all the time, probably too much. But yeah, the colours are perfect. On Ravelry, somebody else had used the yarn and their jumper looked amazing. So there we go. Very, very, very chuffed with it so far. And yeah, hopefully it will maybe take me 2 months. I'm not sure. Hopefully quicker than that. But like I said, I am quite a slow knitter. So yeah, that's coming on really, really nice. But I have been oogling some other patterns. I don't know why, I just can't help myself. And I think Ravelry is one of the problems because once you go on Ravelry, you're hooked, aren't you? You just keep finding patterns and things. But I am telling myself, do not cast anything on until you finish that. But that does not stop me buying patterns and buying yarn ready. Does not stop me doing that. And yeah, there's a few things which I'm really excited about casting on. I will tell you about 2 things which I'm going to cast on after this because I want them for the summer. But I won't go into them too much because I've ordered the yarn. It should be here next week. So what I might do is I'll just show you quickly now, but I will go further into them when I've got the yarn so I can go through the colours which I'm going to do and things like that. So yeah, let's get this out the way. Let's get a Harry Potter book out the way. So the 2 projects which I'm so excited about. Oh, here they are. Here they both are. Yeah, they're quite summery patterns. And I've been looking for a knitted t-shirt to make for a couple of months now. And I just haven't found one which has really screamed at me until I saw this one on Instagram. And it's by Knits and Knots and it's called Pride Yoke. And she's actually done it in the jumper, but you can do it with short sleeves so it makes a t-shirt. It's just beautiful, absolutely stunning. I'm going to do it in the white with the rainbow stripes. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to do short sleeves so it's like a t-shirt. And it's knitted in cotton as well, which will be really nice and lightweight for the summer. So that's one of the things I'm going to work on after Weasley Jumper. And then the other thing is this one, which I think might be more of a priority than that one, because I think this one's going to be a lot easier. I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce these right, but it is the Skagen Tee by Witchy Design. Probably haven't pronounced that wrong. I probably have pronounced that wrong, but I apologise for that. But it's so beautiful. It's like a slouchy button-up t-shirt. Yeah, I just love it so much. And again, it's in cotton. I bought some like dusky pink yarn, which I think is going to look lovely with some wooden buttons. So yeah, so excited to just have something that I can wear in the summer, that I've knitted myself. And yeah, they're quite nice summery patterns, so excited for the yarn to arrive for them. Now, a few of the other things have been on my list for a while. I just haven't got around to knitting, but I thought I'd share them with you anyway, because some of you might be quite interested in knitting them yourselves. You're probably a little bit more skilled than I am. I don't know if these need to be in any order. Oh, I will go through that one actually. So last year I knitted up this little cardigan. Look how cute it is. It's by Petite Knits. I think it's the beginner's jacket. And I knitted it in this yarn, which is Filcolana Panilla, 100% Peruvian Highland wool. I think you can still buy it, but I don't think you can buy this colourway anymore, which is 827. It's like a dark olivey mustardy colour. Rubbish at explaining it, but the colour is just beautiful. So beautiful. And very unisex. I love this colour. And the cardigan turned out really nice. I had one ball left. I actually started to knit up a bonnet to match this, and I finished it, but all I need to do is do the eye cords, which I don't know how to do. And I thought, oh, what could I make with this one ball of 50-gram yarn? And I found the pattern on the Petite Knit website for the Little Sister romper, which takes 50 grams of yarn. So this is just going to be perfect, and it's just straightforward little romper. You could wear it over long sleeves, tights, you know. Oh, it's just so cute. so cute. And I just think it would be adorable having a matching romper, matching cardigan, matching bonnet. So cute. I don't know anyone with babies or who is expecting a baby. I don't know why I'm knitting baby clothes. I really don't. But the idea probably is, if I do ever have kids, then the baby's got its own ready-made outfit. And I mean, it's so easy knitting things for babies. It's so quick. And look, it's just so adorable. So yeah, going to knit a little romper for that. Also, I don't think that's going to take very long. So yeah, it'll be a nice little project to cast on. So that's that one. The other thing was, is that the only other thing? Yeah, I think so. A little rabbit doll for my niece. Now this was originally going to be for her birthday, which was back in April. And I saw this on the lady's Instagram page, which again is called Out of the Thistle, which is the company name. And she makes these adorable little teddies. She does reindeer ones as well, which are so cute. Anyway, she had one for a rabbit. And I thought that'd be really nice. You know, it'd be a nice gift, and you can get little jumper patterns to make them little jumpers. And I was going to try and make one with like a little cable knit down the middle. The only problem is you have to use double pointed needles. The only time I've ever used double pointed needles is for the tops of a hat. I didn't enjoy it very much, but I tried and I failed. So I put it to one side. And I thought, she's not getting that for her birthday. I can't remember what I got. I don't think I made her anything in the end. I think I bought her something. Anyway, I think the needles were partly to blame. They were just sticky grey ones. And I didn't get on with them at all. So what I did is I bought some new ones. I think they're in here somewhere. Here they are. So the needles that I use are they Knit Pro Nova, and they are they steel or they're metal ones anyway, and I just find that the yarn works really well on them. It doesn't stick or anything like that. Anyway, I ordered these ones and they are cuboid needles. They are square, which is quite interesting. And I was thinking, what have I bought? Honestly, they're really nice to hold. I haven't knitted with them yet, so I'm quite excited to see how they knit like. But yeah, square ones. I was a little bit like, what? But yeah, it'd be quite interesting to see what they're like. I'm going to use Cascade yarn again, and I've got it here. I can't remember the colours. If I can find out the colours, I will put them on the screen somewhere. But this one's like a grey brown. And this one's a salmon pink, which was going to be the jumper. Like I said, I was going to try and put a cable on it as well. Again, they were Cascade 220 yarns. So yeah, I might try and do that, maybe for Christmas. Again, I've got a little bit of time, so hopefully, if not, then I'll probably just make it for myself, put it up on the shelf, if I ever get around to making it. Yeah, the only other things that I'm really working on are Christmas presents, which I can't show you. And one thing which I do really want to find is a really nice chunky cardigan pattern. I really want one in a mustard colour, but I just can't find a pattern which I like. You know, when you're looking through patterns and you find one and you're like, oh, that's the one. I haven't found that yet for a cardigan. And I want it to be chunky and mustard, and I just think mustard goes with everything. So yeah, I'm still looking for the chunky cardigan pattern. And I nearly forgot, I bought this book, I can't remember when, quite a few months ago, from John Lewis, I think it was. Learn to knit block by block. I thought it would be a really good way of teaching myself to do different stitches. And you basically just knit up loads of blocks of different stitches. And I thought, well, if I do that, I'm teaching myself these stitches, and then I'm also left with these little squares of knitted blocks, which I thought I could knit together, make into a blanket. You know, like you get cross-stitch samplers. I thought, oh, that would be quite a nice thing to do, like different stitches in a really big blanket. So that's what I'm going to do. And I bought the yarn for this, so I'll probably go into it later on in another episode. But yeah, the yarn was on sale, and you got like a pack of 10 different colourways. I think it was for like £17 or something. So yeah, very, very excited about that. See, I told you I had so many projects which I wanted to cast on. But I think that's about it for now. Obviously, yeah, there's Christmas presents to do as well, but I can't go into them. Oh, no, there's one more thing. I literally just bought it today. And I saw this pattern online last night. And I thought I could see my niece in that. You know, like I was just saying about seeing a pattern and thinking, yeah, that's the one. I thought that would be perfect for my niece. She loves rainbows. She loves unicorns and frozen and pink, but she loves rainbows. And I thought this would be really, really nice, this pattern, which is Sadar. It's called Child's Hooded Raglan Sweater in Serda Crofter DK 2391, and it's from ages 2 to 13 years. And I thought this one would be nice for my niece, and I did actually think, oh, you can make one with like a pocket on the front, would be quite nice for her older brother. So we'll see how this turns out. Anyway, I did have a quick look online last night, and I think the yarn might be discontinued, but I did find another version in the Sadar Snuggly Crofter DK, which I was thinking about using. But I went to Hobbycraft, got the pattern. They had some of the yarn, the exact yarn for the pattern, so I bought it. And yeah, it's lovely, really, really lovely. And what I'm really excited about, I've never used like self-striping yarn before, and this creates like a Fair Isle effect, which I'm super, super excited about trying. And really nice bright rainbow colours, which I think she will just love. So I got 4 balls of that, which will do the 4 to 5 years old. She's 3. But I'm thinking this might be quite nice for a Christmas present because, you know, it's a nice long-sleeved hooded hoodie, I suppose you would call it, and which will be nice in the winter months. Also bought this pattern because this also screamed Sophie out. I just think it would look really nice on her, and I think she would really like it. But again, this one's a little bit more summery. What ages does this go up to? It goes up to 5 to 6 years. So I might try and make this for her maybe for her birthday. Yes, I got plenty of time for next April. They didn't have the pink in stock in Hobbycraft. But it's just the Knitcraft by Hobbycraft striped dress in Women's Institute premium acrylic yarn. I think I'm a bit of a yarn snob. Like, I don't tend to use acrylic. I don't know why. I'm drawn to like the natural elements of wool. But I suppose for kids, oh my gosh, I mean, they're going to grow out of it quite quickly, aren't they? What is wrong with me? I keep dropping things. Right, that is it. That is it for projects which I want to cast on. Like I said, I'll go into more detail when the yarn comes for those 2 t-shirts next episode. But let's get on to some of the other projects which I have been working on, which are not knitting related. They are sewing related. And I am self-taught, knitter then. Sewer, or I'm a self-taught knitter as well. But I've been sewing for about 8 years now. Maybe longer, I'm not sure. But I think it started when I bought myself a Kath Kidston sewing book, and you've got like a little kit to make this ridiculous little bag, which was absolutely rubbish. I should have kept it actually. But I mean, I was completely hooked to sewing after that. My dad got me my nan's old sewing machine out the attic, and I used her sewing machine for about a few years. Then I upgraded myself to a Brother Innovis 900, which I got second hand. I think it was still about £300, but it does embroidery and things like that, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just been a really, really good machine. And yeah, just been sewing happily along. Probably not very good. Don't look too closely at my sewing projects. I actually used to work in a fabric shop for a few years. I think I just spent my wages on fabric, and yeah, it was really, really good actually, and the ladies were really lovely as well from that shop. But yeah, I still got quite a lot of the old fabric stash up there, even though I do treat myself to fabric every now and again. I have recently put an order in for some patterns, which I haven't done in such a long time because I just haven't had time to sew. So I'm really excited about that, and I think my love of sewing has resurfaced due to the Great British Sewing Bee, which I'm watching on telly at the moment. I love it. I want Claire to win. She's local. She's from Winchester, so yeah, she's lovely. Well, I don't know her, but she seems lovely. Anyway, I want her to win. They made a halter neck dress, I think, on the last episode, and it inspired me to make one. So I've ordered a halter neck dress pattern to make. But yeah, there's a few other things I'm going to show you that I'm going to make as well. But first of all, I will show you a few of the things which I have made. One of them is what I'm wearing. This I actually started sewing back in February, and I was inspired to sew a dress like this after seeing one which I couldn't afford. online, and I thought I'm going to try and make my own. And I bought this denim fabric. Ideally I want to make it in linen, but linen's quite expensive, and I think this was like $3.99 a metre. And I just thought, oh, I'll test out the pattern and see what it's like first. I love it. I love it so much. And I mean, denim goes with everything, doesn't it? Everything. It is a little bit thick, so it's probably too thick for summer. But I'm thinking if I make a linen one, I might make like a short sleeved version. Anyway, let me stand up and show you, grab my microphone. So yeah, it's quite long, which is quite nice because I like that length. And yeah, I'm so happy with it. It's got long sleeves, which I have just rolled up. But yeah, it's got the cuffs on them. I have made the arms a little bit too long, I think, but it's actually quite a luxury having arms that actually fit you. And the pattern that I used is by Simplicity 8014, which is this one here. I did the flowery one here, but I did a few modifications. So instead of having the buttons all the way down, I've just done the buttons to the waistline, and then I've got a not so very invisible zip on the side here. But yeah, I love it so much. I really do. The only thing wrong with it, doesn't have pockets. I didn't quite know how to figure out how to put pockets in when there's a side zip. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying, but I really love it. I think I'm going to try to make one in linen, like I said. And yeah, I love it. I've been wearing it non-stop for the past week. Another thing which I have recently made is this. Let me do it up to show you. It's housing my Weasley jumper at the moment. And it's this little bucket bag. I made my friend Helen one for her birthday back in May out of like fox fabric. I loved it so much. I was like, I'm going to make myself one. And I had this Wonder Woman fabric in my stash. I think I had like half a metre. I love Wonder Woman. And I thought it went quite nice with the red gingham. So yeah, I made myself one. So happy with it. It's got the little drawstring bit at the top. I've used gold, what's this called, piping, like her lasso, Wonder Woman's lasso. Got the two handles, and it's got the two pockets on the front. Let me stand up again. Haven't got anywhere to put my microphone. So yeah, it's got the two pockets, and I thought I was being really clever by lining up the pattern, but then you get to the side and I wasn't clever enough to line that up. It just completely slipped my mind. I don't know why. But yeah, it's lined with red gingham inside as well, and it's perfect size. It is really the perfect size. Such an easy sew as well, and it's lined with canvas so it stands up, which is perfect. The pattern was from Etsy, and it's called the Drawstring Bucket Bag by Can Do Crafts. I can't remember how much it cost me, but absolutely worth it. You can do two different sizes, and yeah, I love it so much. I want to make more. I had a project bag already, just one from John Lewis, which I bought when I first started knitting. It's quite big though, and it's already got a project in. So I needed another one, so there we go. It's got my Weasley one in, which is perfect. So yeah, they're my two recent makes. There have been a few others, but when I was writing a list of things that I wanted to show you, which I had sewn, I couldn't remember that many. And then it occurred to me that I probably made the stuff, wore them a couple of times, and then didn't like them, which I feel really bad about. I've got to the point now, or probably the age now, where I want to start making stuff which I will cherish forever, like that are timeless, that I'm going to love for years and years. You know, like simple things like this dress. Yeah, so that's the idea anyway. But there are a few things which I can show you, which I do really, really love. And one of them is this dress. And it is the Emery dress pattern by Christine Haynes. And again, really, really simple. It's long enough. I think it's just about down to my knees, which is perfect. And it's got 3/4 length sleeves. It's got the invisible zip down the back, which again is probably not that very invisible. But yeah, it's in this gingham fabric, which I really, really love. And wouldn't this look nice with a chunky mustard cardigan on it? I wear this all the time with jumpers over it, cardigans, sandals, leggings, tights. It's, you know, it's a dress for all seasons. And I think I have like a autumny red floral coloured one in my wardrobe as well, which I wear all the time as well. Really, really nice, easy pattern. The other thing, which again is probably one of my more recent makes, I made it in February. And I was completely inspired by Little Women. I'm obsessed with it. Absolutely obsessed. I just want to be Jo March and I just want to wear her clothes because her outfits and her costumes were just amazing. And she wore a waistcoat in the film. I just wanted one. So I thought I'm going to go and make one. And I think it was actually the second time that I went to see the film by myself in the day time. After that, I went straight to the fabric shop. I found a pattern. I found the fabric and yeah, I made myself my own waistcoat, which I cannot tell you how happy I am with it. I think it's one of my favourite things I've ever made. It just fits so well. And the fabric is 100% wool. It's from Fabricland. I think it was about $7.99 a metre and you needed just over a metre. So yeah, quite a nice cheap waistcoat really for 100% wool. And it's in this really beautiful bluey green fabric. Oh, I just love it. I love it so much. The pattern is by Berda. What's the number? 7769. There wasn't actually that many waistcoat patterns to choose from for women. I think that was probably one of the only ones. And it's not lined. And it's the same fabric on the back, which I was a little bit dubious about. I wanted one with like the silk on the back. But I love it, and it's got the little tie there, which doesn't really do anything, but it's decorative anyway. It's got ridiculous little pockets, which don't really fit anything in, but again, I suppose they're more for decorative use. And then the 4 buttons down the front and the nice little lapel. I love it. It fits perfectly. And yeah, I love it so much. I did actually contemplate whether to go back to the fabric shop and get more of the same fabric to make a jacket, but it's probably too late now. I mean, that was back in February, so I don't know if they still got that fabric. Yeah, the only other thing is this, which I don't know, I wasn't sure if I was going to show you or not. Is this jacket, which as you can tell is humongous. This was originally going to be like my gardening jacket. I made my dad a navy version for Christmas about 3 years ago, which we call his Monty jacket because Monty Don wears a jacket. It's like one of those French work jackets. And yeah, he loves it. My dad loves his jacket and he wears it all the time up the allotment, and I really love it. And I cut this pattern out probably a couple of years ago. It's been in my drawer in this brown colour, and I was going to make myself one. But yeah, it's really big. Really big. I don't know what to do with it. It needs buttons yet. But yeah, it's just going to be something that I could throw on when I'm gardening and just garden in it. But I'll have to get my dad to try it on and see if it fits him. Because it's mighty big. So yeah, there are a few of my favourite things which I've sewn, but I mean, I've sewn a few things over the years. We had a handmade Christmas about 4 years ago where every single person had to make something to give instead of buying them from a shop, which was actually one of the best Christmases we've ever had. I firmly believe that handmade presents are so full of love and care, and yeah, they're nice. They're really, really nice. So that was a really nice Christmas, and I'm hoping to do a little bit of a knitted Christmas this year, where I give handmade gifts. Even if the people don't really want handmade gifts, they're going to get them. So yeah, a few of the things that I've sewn. I sewed some dungarees for myself last year or a couple of years ago. Sort of land girly-ish, but one of the buckles broke and I just haven't replaced it yet. They were the Choria dungaree by Pauline Alice. I think she does a dress version as well, which I keep meaning to make, but yeah, it's going to be nice to get behind the sewing machine again properly, because like I was saying, I haven't really had time to sit down and do much crafty stuff. So yeah, because of the Great British Sewing Bee, I've got my halter neck pattern arriving in the post. I've got one of those like little pin cushions that you wear on your wrist. I'm really excited about wearing. But I've got these two dresses which I want to make, and I got the fabric from my fabric stash because I really need to use that up. The first one is by Cynthia Rowley, K2250, which is just like a strappy dress. It's been in my drawer for years, and I've got this gingham fabric which I'm going to make it out of. It's a slightly smaller gingham print than this dress, but yeah, I like gingham, and black gingham just goes with everything. So that's going to be one of them. The other one is this one by Berda 6911. It's a jersey dress with like a twist in the chest area. I've made it before using like an orange fabric. It was really, really nice. And I found this fabric in my stash, which I think will be perfect. It's this jersey fabric, black with like white daisies on it, which again, I think will it will go with a lot of things, won't it? So most of my fabric is from Fabricland because that's our local fabric shop. And really reasonably priced fabric as well. So yeah, there are some of the projects I'm going to do. Very, very excited. I've got so much to do. There's not enough time. But yeah, the only other thing I want to show you is a few of my cross stitch. Again, cross stitch is something that I don't really have time to do. And I think I did it more when I didn't have my allotment. Yeah, there was a time before I had an allotment. And yeah, I used to cross stitch and sew. But since I got my allotment, I don't have much time to do that. And now obviously we're so busy with work, I've got even less time to do crafty stuff. But every now and again I have like a massive urge to do it. So I have like a weekend or something where I just do crafty stuff. But some of my cross stitchy ones, I've got a sign in my shed which says Shed Sweet Shed, and I actually based it on this Home Sweet Home one. I can't remember where this is from, but there is a website address which says e-patterncentral.com. I'm guessing it was from there, but obviously I swapped the Home Sweet Home for Shed Sweet Shed, and I will try and link these things in my description if I can get the links. I also knitted a little thing for my mum for Mother's Day. Let me stand up and show you again. All things grow better with a mother's love. Oh, little tight corner. And that was just a pattern I found on eBay, which was an article from Cross Stitching magazine. Was it? Take Your Pick, is that a magazine? Anyway, it was a magazine article which I found on eBay. So that was that. I've also started to cross stitch my nieces and nephews' Christmas stockings. By started, I mean that I cross stitched my first nephew a stocking for his first Christmas, with the plan to cross stitch every niece and nephew a stocking, which never happened because they just took too long. So yeah, I knitted my first nephew one, and then I started to knit my second nephew one when he was born. I got this far. And then my niece came along, and then I just decided to sew them all matching stockings because sewing was so much quicker and so much easier. And I embroidered their names on the top as well, so they've all got matching stockings. And what I might do is save this for either me, or like I was saying, when I have kids, they can maybe have their own cross-stitching stockings. I quite like the idea of having like a nice little family cross-stitch stocking collection. Other thing that I've cross-stitched, which I wanted to show you, oh, it's here on the desk. This is, yeah, the biggest thing which I've ever cross-stitched, and I keep meaning to put it in a frame. It's my Hogwarts Crest. Told you I was obsessed with Harry Potter. I think I made this about 6 years ago, but it's just the Hogwarts Crest. It took me absolutely ages, and yeah, like I said, I need to put it in a frame, and I need to get it up on my wall. I have a little shelf dedicated to Harry Potter on my bookcase. So, and yeah, I need to get that framed up because it's just been rolled up and stuck up in my fabric stash for years. So yeah, I need to get that framed. But apart from that, the only other things I've sort of cross-stitched have been birthday cards, Christmas cards, things like that. But again, cross-stitching is quite nice to do in the winter when you're sat by the fire. Cross-stitch away. I think I'm going to probably do less cross-stitch now that I've got knitting. But I mean, it's a nice little hobby to have. I think that's about all I wanted to show you. Probably talked for a little bit too long. I will quickly just tell you about my knitting journal. Oh, it's not really a journal. It's a folder which is full to the brim. And I've got all my patterns in here. There are dividers, and I've got dividers for women's jumpers, men's jumpers, cardigans, tank tops, scarves, shawls, hats, babies, kids, toys, blankets and Christmas. But what I'm thinking I might have to do, because there's literally no room in here to put any more patterns, I think I might get individual ring binders and put like ladies, men's, kids, accessories, and just have separate ring binders for my ever-growing collection of patterns. But the other thing that I have in here with each pattern that I've completed is a little, if I can find one, is a little like sheet, knitting notes. And it's got the project name, who it's made for, where I sourced it, difficulty ratings, size measurements, needles, yarns, yarn samples and notes, which I find really handy. Now I do use Ravelry, and I put every project that I complete on Ravelry with the same sort of notes, but I like having them here with the patterns, with a little picture. It just makes me happy. And I bought a printable PDF from a company called Creating with Sticks on Etsy. I think it was about £6. You've got all these printable PDFs, including like project planners, and then those knitting notes, and lots of other PDFs which I haven't printed off because I don't have a use for them. But I've got all my projects planned out here, and I've obviously got all my completed knitting notes for all my projects which I've completed. Yeah, I find it helps me to be organised and to write lists and to write things down. And I just like the thought of me looking back through this at my notes, all my handwritten notes, and just, you know, reminiscing. And maybe if I make the things again, you know, I've got the notes there so I know what to do. But yeah, I think I'm going to need to get individual folders because it's getting a little bit out of hand now. But anyway, I think that's about it for this episode. I'm going to have a cup of tea. I've made my dad some Father's Day macaroons, so I need to dip them in chocolate, and I need to make him a Father's Day card for tomorrow as well. But yeah, I really, really hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.